Going on, guys? It's your boy John the Liquidator coming back with another video. That look like Lexie Hull is opening up about Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever locker room. Guys, for this one here, we got to go all the way up to Indy. Let's get it. Let's go. I really hope everybody's having a great day today as we get prepared for this long off season. It's about to be excruciating. I know y'all been seeing reports about, the negotiations being over, no more Caitlin Clark. That's fake news, guys. It's all fake news. I believe the CBA is going to get extended.
The words were spoken, yet a profound silence echoed, far louder than any confession. Lexie Hull finally opened up, giving insights into her future with the Indiana Fever, her bond with the team, and even Caitlin Clark's infamous sneaker game. But what she asterisked in the asterisk address, the swirling rumors of locker room tensions and drama surrounding Caitlin Clark, has sent a new wave of shockwaves through the WNBA. Fans expected a bombshell, a direct response to the whispers that have plagued the team. But instead, Hull's carefully chosen words sidestepped the biggest question on everyone's mind. Was this a strategic evasion, or a testament to a situation too volatile to publicly discuss? Her silence spoke volumes, hinting at unseen complexities beneath the surface of the Fever's tumultuous season, leaving the league in suspense.
So, I got rage baited pretty badly by the new AI. By the way, the new AI today's news and the new AI trending. I got rage baited badly by what is the biggest and dumbest rage bait page in all of the WNBA. Like, I like a good rage bait. This is one of the funniest rage baits I've seen. So basically, there is a page on Twitter, and they're not getting named.
Amidst this palpable silence, Lexie Hull did shed light on her personal journey and professional uncertainty, revealing her heart for Indiana. She declared, "I love my years here in Indiana. Obviously, without an uncertainty, you don't know what's to come, but I built a life here. I love this franchise. I love the people, the fans." These heartfelt sentiments offer a glimpse into her deep connection with the team and the city, but simultaneously underscore the precarious nature of her future as a restricted free agent this offseason. Her dedication is clear, yet the financial realities of the league loom large, making her potential return anything but guaranteed. This personal revelation, while sincere, only intensifies the underlying tension surrounding roster stability and player loyalty in a rapidly evolving WNBA landscape.
Whole situation with this illegal gambling thing with Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, and many other things has definitely took the sports world by storm. Me personally, I feel like this is going to be, if all of this information that has been released by the government is true, this is going to be the biggest sports scandal in the world ever. We're talking x-ray tables, see-through glasses, contacts, like it's the whole works, bruh. Players faking injuries. That's just a little bit. Now, this is where I feel like it's going to take place in the W. We know the Wall Street Journal released an article.
Her status as a restricted free agent adds another layer of drama to the Fever's offseason. While she expresses a deep desire to stay, the business of basketball often dictates different outcomes. "I'm a restricted free agent, so I think that changes things a little bit," Hull stated, acknowledging the leverage her current status provides. This uncertainty means Indiana might not be able to offer her a max deal, potentially forcing her to explore opportunities elsewhere for a bigger payday and a guaranteed starting role. The prospect of losing a player of Hull's caliber due to financial constraints introduces an internal conflict for the franchise, highlighting the difficult decisions that lie ahead and how they could impact team chemistry.
Of covering the league, but 50%, the only tweets that bang are the anti-Caitlin Clark ones. So, and then all the players are retweeting them. But this is one of the tweets. This is actually one of the tweets. This is one of my funniest things. This is one of my funniest tweets I have ever seen. Okay, so we are naming a best team of players who are 25 and under in the WNBA. Who is the best player in the WNBA 25 and under? Very obviously, it is Caitlin Clark on screen.
The unspoken locker room concerns around Caitlin Clark have been the subject of relentless speculation, making Hull's deliberate omission even more conspicuous. Despite the widespread chatter about internal friction and alleged targeting within the league, Lexi chose to focus on her connection to the franchise rather than the controversial player dynamics. This calculated avoidance by a key team member further fuels the narrative that underlying issues exist, issues that are too sensitive or perhaps too damaging to be addressed directly in a public forum. The pressure on players like Hull to navigate these narratives without fueling the fire is immense, creating an environment where silence can be interpreted in countless ways.
We're talking x-ray tables, see-through glasses, contacts, like it's the whole works, bruh. Players faking injuries. That's just a little bit. Now, this is where I feel like it's going to take place in the W. We know the Wall Street Journal released an article months ago about Caitlin Clark civil rights men violated, about them kind of targeting her, and people should be held accountable. Me personally, I feel like this is the first domino headed towards that direction, because I said it once and I say it again. Caitlin Clark is America's sweetheart.
The targeting of Caitlin Clark, a phrase used to describe civil rights violations by the Wall Street Journal, casts a long shadow over the entire WNBA. This allegation suggests a systematic effort to unfairly penalize or undermine Clark's contributions, creating a hostile environment that would undoubtedly impact team dynamics and individual player relationships. If these accusations hold weight, the emotional and professional toll on Clark, and by extension her teammates, would be immense. Such serious claims transcend typical locker room disagreements, elevating the drama to a systemic issue that threatens the integrity and fairness of the game itself, creating an atmosphere of deep mistrust.
Would have Caitlin, Paige, and I was about to say, if you have Paige over Caitlin, if you want to make the argument that you think Paige is going to have a better career than Caitlin, okay, whatever. If you think Paige Beck is better than Caitlin Clark right now, you are a dumbass. Like, you don't understand anything about the sport of basketball. There is the only argument for Paige over Caitlin is if you have 3 All-Stars in your team and you want someone just to stand off the ball. But they're the top 4, and 5 is a close one. Like, Ryan Howard is there, is in that conversation. Leo Phoebish is in that conversation. Sonia Citron is in that conversation.
Adding fuel to this already volatile fire is the unfolding NBA and WNBA gambling scandal, a crisis threatening to unravel the very fabric of professional sports. Commissioner Adam Silver finds himself under intense scrutiny from Congress over allegations of illegal gambling and potential sports rigging. The WNBA, being intricately linked through shared ownership and leadership, is not immune to the fallout. This broader scandal injects a new level of suspicion into every aspect of the game, including player interactions and perceived favoritism. The very idea that games could be rigged or outcomes manipulated casts a dark cloud over every on-court interaction, intensifying the scrutiny on any perceived unfairness.
Backings of Caitlin Clark is the MAGA team. Now, I'm not saying Caitlin Clark support MAGA in any way, shape, or form. I'm not saying that. But MAGA supporters support Caitlin. See, that's the big difference. MAGA supporters support Caitlin. And guess what? Who is MAGA? Donald Trump. Same supporters that support Donald Trump support Caitlin. Oh, yes. This is the beginning of disaster. I mean, this is the beginning of the dominoes falling. Now, I know it's a lot of news that's coming out about the fever with the coaches and on weed and blah, blah. This is
a particularly explosive claim connects the gambling scandal to the alleged targeting of Caitlin Clark, suggesting a chilling scenario of sports rigging. The argument posits that if the league is compromised by gambling, then them assaulting Caitlin Clark is rigging the game too. This controversial leap suggests that efforts to diminish Clark's performance or impact could be part of a larger illicit scheme to influence game outcomes for betting purposes. Such a claim, if true, would represent an unprecedented level of corruption, transforming any internal team drama into a potentially criminal conspiracy with far-reaching consequences for every player and executive involved.
Out of this page moved 2 players, and by the way, this tweet has like 3,000 likes. Like, obviously, this whole page is people rage baiting Caitlin Clark. But like, and this page keeps retweeting it, by the way. This page constantly retweets their own anti-Caitlin Clark tweets. Like, it's constantly retweeting anti-Caitlin Clark tweets. They became Ari McDonald fans despite Caitlin Clark, even though we all fucking loved Ari McDonald. Like, it was hilarious. But it is genuinely one of those things. And they tried to use their argument, and they were like, oh, you know, Paige is better because she doesn't have as many turnovers. Yeah, Veronica Burton's better than Paige Beckers then.
The situation is further complicated by the political undertones, specifically the MAGA team's strong support for Caitlin Clark. This vocal backing, while not necessarily endorsed by Clark herself, positions her at the center of a cultural and political divide within sports. The narrator suggests that if Adam Silver faces repercussions from the gambling scandal, he might expose other alleged wrongdoings, including Kathy over there talking trash about Caitlin Clark and the civil rights violations. This entanglement of sports, politics, and scandal creates a high-stakes environment where every action, every statement, or even every silence carries magnified weight and potential for disaster.
Today, it's just coming out today. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver requesting a briefing and expressing concern over accusations of illegal gambling and sports rigging. Let me spin the block real quick. Sports rigging. Them assaulting Caitlin Clark is rigging the game too. Y'all do know that, right? Y'all do know that, right? Now, let's get back to this. After Portland Trailblazer coach Chauncey Billups, Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier, and former NBA player and coach Damon Jones were indicted in a pair of sweeping federal investigations signed by 6 members of Congress on the House Committee on Energy and Commerce.
Despite the heavy off-court issues, Lexie Hull also shared a lighter yet still insightful perspective on her teammate, Caitlin Clark's sneaker game. Hull noted, "I would say I think Kaylee Clark has the best sneaker game because I think it gets the most amount of free shoes." This comment, seemingly innocuous, subtly highlights Clark's immense marketability and star power, even down to her footwear. It's a reminder of the unique pressures and benefits that come with Clark's celebrity, setting her apart from many of her peers. Such observations, however small, can sometimes reveal underlying dynamics or even envy within a locker room, as extraordinary attention on one player can affect group cohesion.
Genuinely one of those things. And they tried to use their argument, and they were like, oh, you know, Paige is better because she doesn't have as many turnovers. Yeah, Veronica Burton's better than Paige Beckers then. Like, if we're doing that, like, if we are actually doing that and saying that because Paige Beckers is better because of assist to turnover ratio, even though Caitlin Clark scores more points on less shots, shoots better from 2, shoots better from 3, shoots better from the free throw line, has like nearly 3 assists better per game as a rookie, they're both not very good on defense. With Paige is better.
The media landscape surrounding Caitlin Clark is itself a battleground, rife with rage-bait content designed to provoke and sensationalize. Social media pages dedicated to anti-Clark narratives intentionally create controversial takes that garner thousands of likes and shares, often at the expense of factual accuracy. This manufactured controversy becomes a form of drama in itself, influencing public perception and potentially even player attitudes. The constant barrage of negative or dismissive commentary, even if baseless, can contribute to an atmosphere of tension and division, making it difficult for the true narrative of team and player performance to emerge without distortion.
It's a big part of this. The Wall Street Journal. And do y'all really think Adam Silver is finna go down alone? He ain't going down alone, dog. Because from what I'm hearing, allegedly, Adam Silver and the NBA investigated Terry Rozier for faking injuries, right? They kind of bursted under the rug, let Terry Rozier come back. That's bad if that's true. If they knew, if y'all knew.
A prime example of this rage bait involved a best team under 25 inches list that deliberately omitted Caitlin Clark from the top spots, instead listing players like Sonia Citron and Paige Beekers out of their natural positions to justify Clark's exclusion. This blatant attempt to diminish Clark's undeniable talent highlights the extreme lengths some go to in challenging her status. The narrator vehemently disputes these claims, providing statistical evidence of Clark's superior performance in points, assists, shooting percentages, and rebounding. Such disingenuous comparisons underscore the deep-seated resistance and negativity that Clark faces, regardless of her on-court achievements, adding to the psychological drama she must navigate.
Tap, pinch in, tip, steal defender. Caitlin Clark is better as like a free safety, just catching balls and coming in on a lot of weak side help. Caitlin Clark is a risk taker. Paige Becker is unbelievably passive, and I would rather a player be a complete risk taker than be too passive. There's a happy medium in between, but I would rather have one than the other. But there's no argument right now. But if you want to use the turnover argument, Veronica Burton is in this instead of Paige Beckers. Like, it's as simple as that. There's no, if you want to, like, people are like, oh, Paige is more efficient. It's like, well, Paige shoots worse from 2, worse from 3, and worse in the free throw line. Why? Because she doesn't turn the ball over as much. Yeah, she also doesn't assist the ball as much.
The debate often pits Clark against Paige Bueckers, with rage baiters arguing Bueckers is better due to fewer turnovers. However, a deeper look at the stats reveals a different story. Clark averages more points on fewer shots, boasts better shooting percentages from 2, 3, and the free throw line, and nearly 3 more assists per game as a rookie. While Bueckers might be unbelievably passive in her play, Clark is a risk taker inherent to her playstyle, which naturally leads to more turnovers. This statistical breakdown exposes the manufactured nature of the rivalry, indicating that much of the criticism against Clark is rooted in biased narratives rather than objective analysis, further fueling external drama.
I say Caitlin Clark sneakers almost took the Indiana Fever to the finals, which was the all-black Air Force Ones. Caitlin Clark was already ruled out in touring games from the sidelines, but her kicks was once the good luck charm for the Fever. It started when they were down 1-0 in the best of 3 versus the Atlanta Dream. That was one series that was crazy, bro. She walked out on the court with her black Air Force Ones. We all remember that moment. Now goes on to say, Lexie Hull stated, I mean, what the hell? The Air Force One magic faded as the Fever lost out in Game 5 versus the Aces. Now, she said, I would say
player perceptions of Caitlin Clark's abilities are also a fascinating aspect of this unfolding drama. The narrator posits that only a couple of players truly believe they are superior to Clark, Angel Reese and Ryan Howard. Conversely, he expresses doubt that even Paige Bueckers, often compared to Clark, genuinely believes she is better, noting that Bueckers doesn't realize she's Paige Bueckers sometimes. This insight into player psychology reveals an underlying respect for Clark's talent, even among perceived rivals, contrasting sharply with the online rage bait that attempts to diminish her. Such dynamics within the league itself offer a nuanced view of the competitive landscape and player egos.
But, yeah, Veronica Burton should be there for that argument. But it is funny that people get rage baited by this. And, like, people actually believe this. And the funny thing is, like, I was looking at quote tweets. People literally said, the one thing you got wrong is that Aaliyah Boston's worse than Dominique Malonga. And I'm like, man, Aaliyah Boston just outplayed Aja Wilson in the playoff series. Like, Dom Malonga, by the way, Dom Malonga cooked down the stretch. Like, she absolutely cooked down the stretch. And I think Dom Malonga was, like, legitimately exceptional for a 19-year-old. But, like,
the derangement of the anti-Caitlin Clark sentiment is a stark reality, often veering into outright hate rather than constructive criticism. Even arguments attempting to downplay Clark's rookie season due to injury are dismissed, with the narrator asserting that Clark was still one of the best guards in the league when she played. The deliberate distortion of facts, the creation of false narratives, and the relentless negativity contribute to a toxic environment. This external pressure and manufactured disdain add another layer of complexity to the challenges Clark and the Fever face, potentially impacting team morale and making it even harder for the team to find cohesion amidst the constant scrutiny and controversy.
Already know, but I'm trying to get to the locker room part. When asked, she said, I think Caitlin Clark, next year, these are Fever shirt. She is restricted. Okay, here we go. But will Lexie Hull be wearing the Indiana Fever shirt? She's a restricted free agent this offseason for the very first time. She said, I'm a restricted free agent. So I think that changes things a little bit. I've loved my years here in Indiana. Obviously, without an uncertainty, you don't know what's to come. But I built a life here. I love this franchise. I love the people, the fans. So We'll see what comes if judged by the atmosphere right. A lot of
The narrator's frustration with the constant bullstrage baiting highlights the pervasive nature of these manufactured controversies in the off-season. He defends his choice to discuss these topics, stating that his channel is about talking about what I want to talk about in basketball and addressing the prevailing public opinion. This candid admission underscores the significant influence that online narratives and contentious debates have on the basketball community. The need to constantly push back against misinformation and deliberate provocation becomes a central theme, illustrating how external drama often dictates the topics of discussion, even when direct locker room details remain elusive.
I'm like, I nearly got rage baited by a thing, and it was like, the AI Twitter thing said, like, today's news, and it was like, it literally, I think it said the word credible in it. It was like, credible WNBA news outlet states Caitlin Clark is not one of the top 5 players under 25. And I'm like, these are one of those things where you just know it's in bad faith. Like, it's not even an opinion. Like, this isn't even an opinion. This is like saying Nikola Jokic is not a top 5 player in the world. Or Luka Doncic sucks at basketball. Like, these are not, that's just hate. There is opinions. If you wanted to make the argument,
the looming CBA negotiations add another layer of structural uncertainty to the WNBA, potentially overshadowing player contracts and team stability. While the narrator believes a lockout will be avoided, the ongoing discussions create a climate of apprehension throughout the league. This is the most important time on the W, he states, emphasizing the high stakes. This broader league-wide drama directly impacts players like Lexie Hull, whose future hinges on these negotiations, and by extension, the entire Indiana Fever roster. The financial and contractual instability forms a background hum of tension, shaping decisions and interactions at every level of the organization, fueling a different kind of locker room drama, one rooted in economic anxiety. The Indiana Fever's coaching situation also adds to the simmering tensions. The narrator mentions a lot of news about the Fever with the coaches, suggesting internal challenges beyond player-on-player dynamics. Coaching controversies can destabilize a team, creating discord and impacting player performance and morale. While specific details remain vague, this hint at coaching issues indicates that the drama within the Fever extends beyond any single player. It paints a picture of a franchise navigating multiple layers of complexity, from high-profile rookies and veteran free agents to league-wide scandals and internal leadership questions, all contributing to an environment ripe for friction. So, Lexie Hull's silence on direct locker room drama, far from being an absence of news, is arguably the most significant revelation. It amplifies the existing storm of controversy surrounding Caitlin Clark, the alleged targeting, the venomous online rage bait, and the specter of a league-wide gambling scandal. Hull's focus on her own future and loyalty to Indiana, while commendable, inadvertently highlights the profound pressures within the Fever, a team caught between unprecedented hype and deep-seated challenges. The real shocker isn't what was said, but the strategic, heavy silence, hinting that the true drama within the WNBA is far more pervasive and complex than mere locker room gossip, affecting careers, reputations, and the very integrity of the sport.